So for the next one, it is looking at climate zones. And with climate zones, this is another way of also starting to map out these strategies, because there are definitely different strategies that are appropriate for different types of regions. And so one of the other things, that you might find in the ARE is being able to locate which climate regions or, which cities are in which climate regions. And so with this, what you'll find is this is a very typical climate zone map. And the climate zone, to make this connection back to heating degree days and cooling degree days, is actually based upon heating degree days and cooling degree days. And so what we'll find here is that with this map, and hopefully you're all pretty familiar with it at this point, but you'll find that there's zones, there's 1 through 7, sometimes you'll see 1 through 8, if the far northwest, so like Canada and everything is included. And essentially what this is trying to indicate is the different climate zones that are not only within the US, but the varying range of them. So it kind of shows the variation of the different climates that the US alone has. I mean, that's 7 different zones. So if you're, essentially in southern Florida, this tiny little tip, little down here, tiny little Florida, like little tip of Florida, that's going to be climate zone 1, right? And so, you'll see that, with climate zone 1, it's far south, it's kind of getting to be in the tropics. And then you get climate zone 7, way up in northern Minnesota, and also northern Maine here, and some areas of the Rockies. But essentially, with those climates, they're going to be colder. So the ones are going to be the warmer types of climates, and the 7s are going to be the colder type of climates. And then you have, those are in between. You have also marine climates. You have, your hot and arid. You have your temperate. You have your hot and humid. And so what we'll find is that there's essentially 4 major climate zones that are defined and kind of what's being identified. And with that, we'll start to take our passive strategies. But to see how this connects back to our heating degree days. All right, I'm just going to delete this real quick. All right, is to move over here. And so you can see that zone number 1. So we have the zone numbers on this far left. And here, they have, with the thermal criteria, they have, these 9,000, cooling degree days. So that's a cooling degree days, is about, 50 degrees. So this is less than that. And so these cooling degree days, what that indicates is, again, times when you're going to need cooling. So basically that's going to indicate that that's a warm climate, because what you can see, underneath it is that's when they start that there's, a range there. There's 6,300, to 9,000, cooling degree days. That's going to be a less, a cooler climate, let's just say a warmer climate, because it has less cooling degree days. There's less days that need to be cooled. And then it goes, on and on and on. And then it flips over into heating degree days. And so as we go into heating degree days, we'll find that, they indicate that here with that 65 degrees Fahrenheit. With the zone 8, what we talked about, even though it's not on the map, on the chart, that's most likely going to be up in Canada. And that's going to be, what's really considered to be a cold climate. And so with that, the cooling degree days have kind of fallen off the chart, because it really is now about this heating degree days, days in which there is heating that's necessary because it's this cold climate.